They supposedly followed the book more for this installment. Yeah, sure. Carrie, the 2013 remake of a 1976 classic that was already remade once and much more appropriately. The plot. Do I really have to rehash this plot again? Carrie is the outcast. Carrie is asked to go to prom. Shit goes down and Carrie becomes a local legend of sorts. This could have been the ultimate shitfest. However, surprisingly, I found some decent things about it. First off, the bullying aspect. It's handled a little differently here than in the original films. Kind of like the second Carrie movie. It is absolutely savage in this version, though. While Carrie has her period, she is being filmed by Chris Hargensen, who just looks like a complete bitch in general. Anyway, as if it wasn't bad enough that Carrie is covered in spilled pig blood, Tina, the Norma character of this film, turns on the footage to be played on screens all around the building the prom is residing in. It is a whole new level of cyberbullying. Also, Harkinson doesn't just stand back while Billy smashes the pig's head in with a sledgehammer. No, she stabs the poor swine in the throat, no problem. She is seriously sick in the head. The characters are well acted by their suitors. The cast is pretty solid. Miss Jordan, played by Judy Geer from Jurassic World, you know, the kid's parent, the mother of the kids in the does seem a bit copy and paste of her original version, but she manages nonetheless. Chloe Grace Moretz has always been on my radar as a solid child actress. From the Amityville Horror 2005 to Let Me In 2010 to Dark Shadows from 2012, I've always felt she works best in horror, except when she did Kick-Ass 1 and 2 and did a phenomenal job in those movies too. Here she does a decent Carrie. I didn't like that when she snapped, she still had control of her actions. Very much so, in fact. Sissy Spacek will always be the best crazy Carrie. Yo! In my opinion. However, Moretz does have a great timid reaction to everything. I felt that Spacek sometimes overdid it. It is a toss-up for me. So I guess the winning factor is that Moretz moved like a semi-contortionist when she lost it. Spacek just looked insane while standing there. Spacek for the win. There's not a whole lot new to this movie. It's a carbon copy of the original with a few things from the 2002 remake and very little from the novel that was already featured in the 1976 version. Let's get into the next section. The gore, the effects, blood splatters all over the place during the prom sequence. If there is anything to overtake the original prom sequence from 76 in this movie, it's the gore. Does it make it better? In a way? Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the original prom massacre, but we didn't see the brutal and graphic side of the carnage, like in the book. Here, people are crushed in between bleachers, stampeded over an abundance of feet with sharp and high heels, and people are literally just flung everywhere. It didn't come across as too corny, nor did it look fake, which I was worried about when I was watching this back in 2013. Even then I was a critic. I'm not a critic! Shut up! The vehicular kill with the two characters in the car, where the hell else would they be, is prolonged and way more graphic here than the quick, less than 10-second car accidents from the original. Don't hurt me, Carrie, I'm sorry. I think blood was needed to show just how horrific this prom massacre was. Still, that's only one aspect over a variety of things the original Carrie did better. Both sequences are great. The original is still better, though.
Oh, look, she's happy. What the fuck?
For a $30 million budget, everything looked polished and real. Very impressive given the decent budget. If it had even more, just imagine a town destruction sequence 2013 style. The official motion picture soundtrack, this was pretty good. My favorite is the guitar scenes we get when Carrie touches down in the parking lot outside the school before going after the car. Marco Beltrami made this a big musical score, and I enjoyed it. Still, it can't beat the original version, and definitely not the O2 version's music, though. This had solid music nonetheless. This was not needed, but not a shit remake either. The cast, effects, gore, and musical score are all pretty decent, actually. Some other characters, such as Tina and Heather, could have stuck out more, and Moretz did a decent job as Carrie, but it needed a bit more work. Otherwise, this is a savagely brutal remake to a somewhat tame yet R-rated 1976 classic. Overall, I give Carrie, the 2013 remake, a 2.5 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, leave comments, and subscribe.